His opponent, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Taylor's Lakes and making his debut, please welcome Brayden Buttergieg. Messiest thing you've ever gone through was your purse. Yeah, I don't cry like hell, but I might as well hang it up like a shell. Gotta keep rolling with any bars. You can keep throwing shit at the wall, but you're gonna find another's gonna stick until you apply yourself. Time to sleep in that too until I find myself inside the realm of the unknown and boldly go into waters where nobody else has gone before, or women that go uncharted.
I'm John Cavassini, and with me I'm very proud to have ringside Dion Douglas from the XFC gym and the man they call the Cannon, Dave Bannon. Good evening, guys. Here we go. First bout already about to get started.
Thanks, John. Thrilled to be here.
Thanks.
Second down, round one.
Well, here we go. Look, Adam Caciolo in the blue shorts, standing 6 foot tall. Quite a bit of... He's got a few centimetres or inches on Brayden Buttergieg, who's making his pro debut. He's had quite a few amateur bouts, been proficient on particularly the young gun shows, where he's cut his teeth in centre ring.
He's quite ripped. Johnny in blue corner there, Adam.
The height's already going to make this a tough task for him, but southpaw to boot.
This one, modified Thai rules. Both of these boys, you can see the adrenaline already in play as they seem to just be rushing a little bit here, but hopefully they'll settle.
Oh, I love the smaller guys. Johnny, they're absolutely letting their hands go.
Some nice uppercuts from Brayden Buttergieg.
3 by 2 minute rounds, obviously not a lot of time to make their statement to their judges, and they are not leaving anything to the judges.
Adam hasn't actually won a fight yet, pro or amateur, so he's eager to change that tonight.
A lot of support here for Brayden, training out of Ultimate headquarters.
Yeah, look, Brayden's got a fairly strong amateur pedigree behind him. He's had 6 amateurs, 4 wins, 2 losses. So you'd like to think the experience component would go to Brayden.
Well, you'd have to say, guys, you know, both been involved in training. You know, you think that Johnny and Joey have done the right thing. You know, 6 fights, 6 good amateur fights. Is that good enough to then make your pro debut?
Most definitely, and especially since Adam actually didn't have too much of amateur pedigree.
Johnny, I didn't have a single amateur kickboxing fight before I jumped in there, buddy. We all know how that worked out. So,
well, there you have it. Both boys will be very happy to get that first round down and out. Adam Caciolo in the blue, Brayden Buttergieg in the red.
Round 2.
It's about brought to you by GL Lee Real Estate. So here we go, gents. You see the taller fighter in Adam trying to apply the clinch here early in the second round.
Yeah, he's making it difficult for Brayden because on the outside he's dealing with Adam's kicks, but on the inside he's getting mauled in the clinch.
Hey, big overhand right.
Some nice high kicks from Caciolo. Just ties Brayden up onto the ropes. But there's Brayden with that uppercut once again, trying to land that under the chin of Adam Caciolo.
Adam's kept a furious pace since the start, but you've got to imagine he's going to slow down sometime soon.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, mate. I think Adam's starting to come very square and slowing down quite a lot. There we go.
Nice clean catch and sweep from Brayden. That'll score very nicely.
Brayden's starting to feel comfortable in there. You can see his heart rate dropping a little bit. He's starting to relax.
He's trying to make good use of the ring, but well done to Adam, just cutting him off.
Bit of a slip over there, I think. Nothing too suspect.
Oh! Well, I tell you what, have a look at that. Oh,
The referee's
Adam Caciolo not looking very good. Yeah, he's trying to breathe in and regain his composure, but referee Matt Tyne lets him continue.
Very surprised at that, Johnny.
Yeah, well, 10 seconds left. This could be all over. There you have it.
It's all over.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dave, you predicted it early on that we'd see a few knockouts tonight.
I think so.
First one of the night.
What an opening bout, Johnny. I think, what else can you ask for? You had excitement in the first round, such a close first round, could go either way. Come out in the second, and we saw Brayden come out and just really control that second round from start to finish.
All right, thank you very much. With the guys here from GLE Real Estate, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Tyne, our referee, puts a stop to this contest 1 minute 56 seconds into the second round. Your winner by TKO, Brayden Buttergieg.
There you have the official decision. Congratulations, Brayden Buttergieg is getting a TKO victory in his pro debut.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, blink and you miss Ultimate Legends number 9, live from the Westend Market Hotel. Proudly brought to you by Joe DeMacaulay and John Sheeder. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are live streaming around the world on Fight TV. Our next contest, proudly brought to you by Dimples Nightclub in Essendon. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner from Cairns in Queensland. Please welcome Russell Wilkinson. His opponent, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Taylor's Lakes and making his debut. Please welcome Kassab. Proudly brought to you once again by Dimples Nightclub in Essendon.
And the blue corner, Russell Wilkinson taking on the local boy from Ultimate Headquarters, Kassab. Just keep your eye on the hands of Chris, gentlemen. I've seen this boy working in the gym.
Chris says he was a boxer before he switched over to kickboxing, and you can see it right away. Very clean hands, fast left.
Yeah, big left hand already from Chris. Quick mention to Dimples Nightclub. Welcome to Ultimate Promotions, getting behind this bout. Special shout out to the DJs there, Vito and Jeff. Good friends of mine. Get down there, particularly on a Friday night. The place is always rocking at Dimples Nightclub. Saturday are theme nights.
I'll tell you what, Chris's kicks aren't half bad either, but his hands are definitely the standout.
You definitely see Christopher's certainly the more comfortable out of the two. I think Russell looks like a bit of a fish out of water in there. I won't be surprised if the referee calls this off very early, guys.
Yeah, Kassab all over Russell Wilkinson at the moment. Working on that lead leg with the low kicks.
Certainly points to Russell for heart, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, the boys from up north in Cairns got a lot of heart. Oh, well, gee, I'll tell you what. Yeah, very accidental. I think there was no intent there, but unfortunately to me, Russell did have his hands on the canvas, so hopefully He'll be okay to continue.
Under the Victorian Combat Sports Board.
Russell, referee Mark Cook, expect a point deduction here. There you go. No nonsense from Mark Cook.
1 point off from the red corner.
Yeah, look, you can't really sort of take much away from Christopher there. You can't see that there was any malice intent there. No. I think Russell was going down at the time, and it's just a reflex action.
You can tell Chris is extremely apologetic for what happened.
So we resume with Chris once again working low kicks to that lead leg.
That left hook counters, finding the mark on repeat.
Well,
yeah, look, I'd say the Mark's going to have a very close look at this, and I won't be surprised if he gives some instructions to the blue corner and says if he doesn't see something.
I tell you, I'm still impressed.
Yeah.
His hands are beautiful.
So here we go, round number 2 or 3. Once again, a big thanks to Dimples Nightclub in Essendon. Chris Sard in the red, Russell Wilkinson in the blue. Just a classic combination from Chris.
Again, he loves just finishing with that kick, and it's working a treat for him, isn't it?
Yeah, Russell just gets one flush on the chin as he walked into that one.
5, 6, 7,
All heart.
8.
Wants to go on. And I tell you, I'd be shocked to see this go 3 rounds.
Nothing. I tell you what, you can't knock this Russell bloke out with a sledgehammer.
I'll tell you what, yeah, I've seen some strong chins in my time, but look, referee Mark Cook, there it is. It's all over, folks. Yeah.
Fighting is over.
Yeah, well done, you know. He took some punishment. Russell, got to give him credit though, he's all heart.
Yeah, you can't fault him, can you? They breed him tough up north, don't they?
Yeah, very much so. We've seen quite a few fighters from Cairns make the trip down here, particularly from Vince Parks' gym.
All right, thank you very much there to Dimples Nightclub in Essendon. Ladies and gentlemen, after Mark Cook puts a stop to this contest, 47 seconds into the second round, your winner by TKO, Chris Sard.
We have the official decision from our MC, Perry Cale.
Big round of applause there to Russell Wilkinson coming all the way from Cairns in Queensland. Big round of applause.
Once again, a thanks to Dimples Nightclub and to Russell Wilkinson making the trip down from Cairns.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to bout number 3 of the evening. Ultimate Legends number 9, live from the Westend Market Hotel. Our next contest proudly brought to you by TMP Plumbing. Introducing first, fighting out of Geelong. They call this man the Angry Leprechaun. Please welcome Stuart McIntosh. His opponent making his debut, fighting all the way out of Delahaye. Please welcome Michael Alves.
In the red corner, we have Michael Alves.
Once again, proudly brought to you by
And he's taking on
Plumbing.
A fighter from Geelong, Stuart McIntosh in the blue. The man they call the Angry Leprechaun.
Seconds out, round 1.
So expect a bit of biff on from Stuart with a name like that, and he wears a low blow almost in the first few seconds of this bout. First low kick of the night.
He might be talking like a leprechaun now, Johnny, after that low blow.
Oh, his voice would have gone up a couple of octaves for sure. Big thanks to TMP Plumbing. They might have to do a bit of repair work on Stuart McIntosh. But he doesn't seem to be suffering any long-term effects as he's quickly back into it.
So this is another Elite Training Centre versus Ultimate match.
Yeah, we had Adam Caciolo on previously. So once again, K1 rules, 3x2. Experience going the way of Stuart McIntosh. He's had a couple of fights. Mikey making his debut. Yeah, tell you what, really loading up over there. As Mikey Alves just backs Stuart into his own corner.
Yeah, you're right, Dion. I think that's why I love watching debutants fight all the time, because they really leave nothing to for the judges to make a decision on.
This is very similar to the first fight.
Yeah, they leave it all in the ring.
Admittedly, you know, they'll have a lot of family and friends supporting them and really wanting to put on a show.
Emotions take over and tactics go out the window.
But we love it.
It's beautiful.
See, I tell you what, Stuart McIntosh keeping quite a dangerous wide guard there. Expect Mikey Alves. There he goes, straight through the middle. Saw it. Both fighters exchanging strong low kicks. Oh, nice spinning back fist. Tell you what, action-packed first round from these two fighters.
I think that's one on the books for Michael.
Coming up later in the evening, main event, Abbas, Ahmadi and Albert Xavier under full Thai rules. Here we go, second round of 2. Stuart McIntosh, the angry leprechaun in the blue. Michael Alves in the red.
I'm keen to see what tactical adjustments that corners have asked for.
Both boys look like they've really come into tip-top shape, haven't they?
Michael in particular is absolutely ripped.
Yeah, I've known Mikey for a couple of years, and I'll tell you what, I've never seen him as ripped as he is this evening. So obviously done a lot of hard work in the gym in preparation for this bout.
Stuart as well normally walks around in the 70s and he's down here at 63 tonight.
Gee, I'll tell you what, that's a significant weight cut, Dion.
Yeah, far more suitable. I believe his last fight on power play was at 68 kilos, which didn't quite suit him.
David, you're doing the commentary as well, yeah? Cool, thank you.
So Michael just being the aggressor here. Tries to back Stuart into that neutral corner.
Looks like Michael just has the edge in all departments, just a little bit.
So what are we under? K1 rules, guys. So no holding, obviously, single knees.
Both boys mouth wide open now. Dion and Johnny, they're starting to waver from that pace that we initially saw in the first round.
Yeah, well, it was a pretty hectic opening in that first round from both fighters. Here we go, 10 seconds left in round number 2. Nice kick to the rib cage.
Live streaming around the world on Fight TV. Fighters touch gloves, third and final round.
So here we go, final round. Will we go to distance for the first time tonight, guys? Big thanks once again, TMP Plumbing.
Looks like Ultimate's the team to beat tonight.
I'll tell you what, it's a good, strong start here to Ultimate headquarters.
Seems they're only minutes away from the third straight win for the night.
Ooh, just a little bit of holding there. There goes referee Mark Cook. He's having a word to both fighters. He will not tolerate any of that.
Yeah, I'd love to see Michael just stand back and not crowd his work. I think he's getting the better of almost every single exchange when he does sit back on his shots, doesn't he?
Yeah, there's no need to be smothering himself.
Double up, well, 3 round kicks in succession from Mikey. Oh.
He'll take a point for that for sure.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Mikey, settle down, son. That was not very sportsmanlike. 1 point deduction. Rightly so, guys. You know, in the heat of the moment, this is not the gym.
I think he'll cringe a little bit when he watches that one later.
Yeah, absolutely, and Michael will learn from that.
Just a bit of fight, not emotion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think, and I know the young fighter pretty well. But now he's got his work cut out for him.
I like that he's returning the favour with that spinning back fist.
Final 30 seconds.
There we go, Mikey still being the aggressor here. Good straight left hand. 10 seconds left.
That's good. One last try for the leprechaun.
Yeah, just a little bit of a scrappy finish.
Both fighters.
So for the first time this evening, we've gone the distance.
To present
I think we'll find it's another win for Ultimate, 3-0.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the guys here from TMP Plumbing. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. It is a majority decision. Ladies and gentlemen, Vadim Tassimaz had a 28-28. Charlie Cavalieri had a 29-27. And Jake Beach had a 29-28. For your winner by majority decision, red corner, Michael House.
I'll tell you what, probably a little bit closer on the judges' scorecards than how we scored it.
Upon us of number 11, Ultimate Legend number 9, live streaming around the world on Fight TV. Next contest, proudly brought to you by Rooks One Graphic Design. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner and fighting out of Altona North. Please welcome Sam Summer. Fighting out of Little River, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Ghost, Will Johnson.
Here we go, gentlemen, another K1 rules contest, 3 by 2 minute rounds. Pretty much a battle of the West, we would say.
One Graphic Design, referee Matt Tyne in charge.
In the blue corner, a fighter who's quickly becoming a regular here at Ultimate Legends. In the blue and white shorts, it is Sam Summers, and he's taking on the Ghost, Will Johnson, in the red and white. It's proudly brought to you by Rux One Graphic Design. A big shout out to Paul Zara.
Now, we've already seen it twice now, Johnny. Sam has grabbed that leg twice. That last time he grabbed it. Now, this is something that Sam lost a point for last time he fought. Now, he's a very exciting fighter to watch, but surely you go back to the gym after that last fight, Johnny, and you stop trying to catch that kick if you're going to fight K1.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's important to just follow the rule set. I've got to be honest, you know, having sparred and had a couple of fights myself under different rules, and how did you guys treat it? Especially you, Dave. You've had fights under many different disciplines and different rules. Well, you know, what is it that, how do you just overcome the instinct to catch the leg, you know, when you're fighting K1 or kickboxing?
You know, the thing is, Johnny, I think that when you walk into that ring, you understand what you can and can't do. For example, if I was fighting in boxing, I'm not going to just start throwing leg kicks, am I? Now, and coming as a kickboxer into a boxing fight, you've got to have a good, clear mind and understanding the rule set that you've agreed to. And once again, I'm just looking over to some of the officials' tables there, Johnny, that are not really impressed.
Yeah, well, from a trainer's perspective, Dion, you know, having your own fighters, what do? Do you concentrate on your own fighters' preferred style and not take fights under a different set of rules?
No, I think provided that they control their adrenaline and emotions on the night, they shouldn't be falling into habits that break the rules.
Taking serious amounts of points off straight away. No warning.
And admittedly, these guys that are no strangers to centering here, and we get you know, a pattern of regular referees and judges. So you get to know the fighters and perhaps what some of their bad habits might be. And Matt Tyne having a word with Sam Summers here at the start of the second round. So here we go, second round of 3.
Round 2.
Sam Summers in the blue, Will the Ghost Johnson in the red and white. Proudly brought to you by Rux One.
I think if the fighter performs the same infraction on repeat, eventually you got to assume that it's on purpose, it's intentional.
I think he just has to take that, catching that kick out of his repertoire. Slows the fight down, and it takes away from the fight too. We're all three of us here talking about this thing instead of watching the clean strikes that we're seeing from William Johnson here at the moment.
Yeah. Good, nice, clean single knees from Will. The first one landed cleanly, followed it up with the second.
I think everything about Will's style is very composed, clean, cerebral. I'm really impressed considering he's only had 4 professional fights. I think this is number 5.
Have a look at his defence, guys. You know, just classic, keeping the hands up nice and high.
This will be the 8th time that Mr. Summers has been in the ring professionally. Now you're mentioning, Dion, that Williams lost quite a lot of weight.
Yeah, well, I was speaking to him earlier and he said one of his proudest accomplishments was losing 45 kilos. I guess that would have made him about 120 kilos once upon a time.
Isn't that insane?
Well, I'll tell you what, all credit to this young man. That is absolute amazing feat, and for anybody out there watching and wanting to perhaps participate in the sport or always wanted to, there's some of the health benefits that come from training in a fight style.
Beautiful switch right hand. I haven't seen that one for a long time.
End of round 2, proudly body by Rooks. One grabbing design. So fresh.
Within the sport, and it grows the sport.
Yeah, but admittedly, gents, you know, 2 very experienced trainers. We've got Jay Osman over in the blue corner, who seems to have been around for years, and then likewise with James Rosler over in the red, out of Ultimate Hoppers Crossing. So here we go, third and final round.
It's definitely the closest fight of the evening so far.
He's got to watch that right overhand, doesn't he? William, he gets caught with that. Sam's got absolute power in those hands.
Beautiful counter.
Now we're starting to see some clean techniques from both parties.
Will credits his reflexes and his fight IQ as his strong points. I think we're seeing that right now.
Yeah, I like this young fighter. I just like his stance. I like his style. He's just classic. Oh, he's got airborne. Tried with a jumping knee and a catch and takedown. K1 rules, guys.
I'm not sure what we're watching.
I've got to admit, though.
Last time I checked, that was either rugby or MMA.
But, you know, Sam, I'll give him credit. I really enjoyed it. It was a nice technique from Sam Summers.
Maybe Sam's got a future in MMA.
Another infraction.
So just a little bit stop-start here in this third and final round. As
Final
Sam
20 seconds.
As Perry Cowell announces 20 seconds left. Once again, that jumping knee from Will the Ghost Johnson.
Sam's definitely given this a good red hot crack, but I think it's comfortably Will's.
That's in about. Big round of applause to both fighters. Can I have a representative, please, from Rooks One Graphic Design? Can I have Paul? Thank you.
Just having a look at Will. He looks like he could do another 3 rounds.
Rooks One Graphic Design
He's
here
very,
as
very
our
efficient
sponsor
in the
before
way
we go
that
to
he
the
fights.
judges' scorecard. Big round of applause to both fighters for a great contest. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. It is a split decision. Charlie Camilleri had it 30-27, blue corner. Vadim Tashimaj had it 30-27 the other way, red corner. And Cenk Bigic had it 30-27 for your winner by split decision. Red corner, the Ghost, Will Johnson.
Well, I'll tell you what, gentlemen, once again, a little bit of a contrast in scores there.
30-27 both ways. It's interesting.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Ultimate Legends number 9, live streaming around the world on Fight TV, live from the Westend Market Hotel. Ultimate Legends number 9, proudly brought to you by John Cheetah and Joe DeMacaulay. Our next contest, bout number 5 of 11, proudly brought to you by K1 Kitchens. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, out of Cairns in Queensland. They call this man the Porn Star. Please welcome Ron Gerard. And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Mooney Ponds and making his debut. Please give him a warm Western Market Hotel welcome to Jake Spinner. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, about number 5 of the evening. Proudly brought to you by Kitchen Innovations. 3x2 around 70 kilogram weight division under K1 rules. When the action begins, our referee in charge, Mr. Matt Tyne.
Wonder why.
Ron Gerard taking on the local boy from Ultimate Headquarters, making his debut in the red and white, Jake Spinner. It's experience going the way of Ron. Couple of fights under his belt.
Well, the debutant has some nice clean hands on him.
Yeah, I don't think Jake's leaving much to the imagination with those leg kicks, is he?
Bit of a Dolph Lundgren lookalike, Jake Spinner, particularly with that haircut.
Absolutely.
I won't call him Ivan Drago, but you know, he was a very competent karateka, Dolph Lundgren. So.
What about a bit of Raymond Decker? He's got the haircut.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And the low kick.
Leg kicks like that, we could call him that also.
Well, I tell you what, over in the neutral corner, he's laying out the porn star like a deck of cards at the moment.
I thought you were going to say something else then, Johnny.
So, attempted step-up knee from the Queenslander, Ron Gerard.
I think it's rare to see a debutant look this clean and this composed, so I'm very impressed.
Again, credit to those boys at the Ultimate Gym. You know, I think a lot of those boys have been training with the pros ever since they were an amateur. From day one they walk into the gym, I think they train as one big unit.
Yeah, they do actually, and as you know, I did all what little training I did was at Ultimate Gym, so I've known these boys that come up through the ranks really from the first day they walked in the gym. And you know, credit to Joey DeMacaulay and Johnny Sheeter. You know, they've made the boys take their time, fight through the amateurs and not rush them at all. Just a bit of a slip there from Jake as he planted that teep into the midsection of Ron Gerard.
Now that you've mentioned Raymond Deckers, I can't unsee it, Dave.
It's true, but the way he's throwing those leg kicks is very reminiscent.
He's hurt Ron. He's hurt him with that knee, and he's hurt him with the body rips. and it's all,
and
the damage was
saved by
all
the
done in the midsection. And it was the first knee that did the... So here we go, second round. It's bout brought to you by Kitchen Innovations. Well, I'll tell you what, once again, Jake Spinner attacking the midsection while Ron was airborne with that round kick. So 8 count from referee Matt Tyne.
This may be one of the most impressive debuts I've seen in a long time.
Yes, absolutely. Those leg kicks have to be taking their toll. He's turning his back. He is in a world of pain right now, Ron.
Yeah, look, he's trying to protect the right rib cage.
Ronald's corner's calling for him to let his hands go.
And there's Jake Spinner once again letting a knee go right above our commentary position now, unloading with the big bombs. Ron needs to start fighting back. Another 8 count.
5, 6, 7, 8.
I don't think it's going to last much longer, John.
Yeah, Ron Gerard not looking very good there. Just a little bit wobbly, and yep, referee Matt Tyne waves it off. So another.
To put you that there, mate.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Matt Tyne puts a stop to this contest. 1 minute and 20 seconds into the second round. Your winner by TKO, Jake Spinner.
Oh, there you have the official decision, Jake Spinner.
Kitchens.
And we have John Cressidi from...
Bout number 6 of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, proudly brought to you by Climate Tech. Introducing first from the blue corner, fighting out of Richmond, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Darren Yin. And his opponent, representing the 3020 of Kings Park. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm Westend Market Hotel welcome to Dylan Decouto. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, bout number 6 of 11 of the evening. Ultimate Legends number 9. Live from the Westend Market Hotel and live streaming around the world on Fight TV. Producer Keith Evans. Ladies and gentlemen, the next contest, 3 by 2 minute rounds under K1 rule, 62 kilogram weight division. And proudly brought to you by Climate Tech.
So Darren Ginn fighting out of the blue quarter, Dylan Decouto in the red.
Darren looks determined to break Ultimate's streak tonight.
Yeah, Ultimate headquarters on a winning streak, and Ultimate Hoppers Crossing joining in as well. So it's been a good night in the office so far, this bout. 3 by 2 under K1 rules, proudly brought to you by Climate Tech.
Now, despite the fact that Dylan hasn't been especially active in his fight career, he has been training a long time, nearly 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Dylan's been one of those guys who's regular in the gym, and then he'll decide to start fighting, and then he has a bit of a break, and then he gets back into it. And some success last year in particular here at the West End.
Well, he fancies himself a counter fighter, so hopefully we see some slick counters on display tonight.
But have a look at Dylan. He almost glides across the ring. He's very light on his feet. I love that from Dylan Decouto. Nice step-up knee from Darren.
Yeah, and both boys are nice and clean. This is the kind of fights I really enjoy to watch. Sometimes hard to call because you get sucked so far into the fight.
The beautiful technique, yeah.
Dylan trying to go upstairs, just missing with that round kick.
being outreached at the moment, I think, Dylan. Darren's doing a good job at keeping him at that distance.
Yeah, that extra 5 centimetres of height is winning him this round, I think.
Yeah, and that right round kick is landing on the rib cage of Dylan Decouto.
Climate Tech.
Second round coming up. Big thanks once again, Climate Tech.
Round 2.
How'd you see that first round, boys? I'd have to say, on my scorecard, just slightly the way of the blue corner.
Yes, I'd have to agree that Darren's in the lead a little bit, but Dylan does have 2 knockouts on his record, so we can't count him out just yet.
Very evenly matched fight, but yes, I would agree, Johnny and Dion. I think that Darren is well ahead at the moment. It's almost that I feel like Dylan has a sense of urgency there, that he is aware that he's behind. Nothing more that I love to see from a fighter, but to recognise his true position within the fight and step it up.
Unfortunately, everything he's throwing is coming just 2 centimetres too short.
Yeah, that's the challenge really for Dylan. It's just to try and close that gap and take away that advantage, that reach advantage that Darren has. Perhaps I'd like to see him just try and pepper away that lead leg just to soften him up with some low kicks.
Tell you what, boys, though, I wouldn't be writing Dylan off so soon. He has landed a number of heavy shots.
Yeah, he's got a lot of power in his hands in particular.
And he's definitely still in the fight. You can see it in his eyes. There it is again.
He's certainly the one that's moving forward, certainly one engaging. Not taking a single backward step.
Well, we saw Brayden find the mark in the first fight. Let's see if Dylan can do the same. There it is.
A couple of straight punches from Darren. Finish off the second round.
In round 2, 2 down and 1 to go.
Here we go, referee Mark Cook asks fighters to touch gloves.
And final round.
Have you got it scored so far, Dave?
Yeah, you have to give 2 rounds to the blue corner.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, David. Dion, your opinion?
Yes, I think 2 comfortable rounds to Darren, but I am impressed by Dylan. He's pouring it on, he feels the urgency. The boy's working.
I tell you what, Dion, though, he lands a double jab, right cross, right overhand, and he's going to have some issues tonight, though.
I tell you, Darren's not fighting like a guy who's ahead on points. He still seems intent on winning this round as well.
Yes, he's certainly not being conservative, and why not? It's 3 rounds, they're 2 minutes. Leave it all in the ring. These boys are well and truly fit enough to get the job done.
Yeah, Darren landed a couple of good strong kicks to that lead thigh, and there he goes again, working away at that lead leg. So that's 4 clean shots.
I always appreciate a fighter who looks for the finish, and he's definitely looking for the finish.
Redness starting to appear on that left thigh of Dylan Decouto.
And fatigue and pain on his face.
Final 30 seconds.
So both fighters now trying to land the big shots here in the final stages of this bout. Darren going upstairs with a high round kick. Tempted Superman punch from what I could see from Dylan.
Darren's displaying some very high-level technique and composure for a guy with only 4 fights.
That's it of the fight. Big round of applause to both fighters. Can I have a representative, please, from...
Had a bit of a chuckle, sir.
All right, we've got AJ Kassab there from Climate Tech. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. It is a unanimous decision. All 3 judges had a 30-27 for your winner, blue corner, Darren.
Oh, there you have it, gents. No great surprises this time. All 3 judges consistently unanimous points decision going the way of Darren Gunn.
Bout number 7 is upon us of number 11 from Ultimate Legends, number 9, live on Fight TV, live streaming around the world. Introducing first to my right out of the blue corner, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Cairns in Queensland, please welcome James Burns. His opponent fighting out of Laylaw and representing the OTC gym. Please welcome Baris, Kilic.
The northern suburbs.
Seconds out, round 1.
Baris, Kilic. Proudly brought to you by Slices Restaurants. Venue for last night's weigh-in at Caroline Springs.
Coming out of Jamal Hassan's camp, I wonder if we'll see some nice taekwondo techniques as well.
Yeah, well, experience going the way of Baris with 11 fights compared to 4 for James Burns.
Baris not wasting any time with making his acquaintance. Oh, I think that might have hurt him.
It's an intense character, this one.
Hold on to your hats, gentlemen. This is going to be a cracker, I think.
Yeah, both fighters are pretty composed here, just picking their shots. Although it looks like James Burns already hurt. I didn't actually see what that
I think he
was.
stung him to the body. Nice liver shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 8 count from referee Mark Cook.
I think James holds his hands a little high when he's under pressure, and Baris is going to snatch that body.
Gee, head-hunting round kick from James Burns, just loses his footing in the process.
Hey, what, both boys are taking some massive left hooks to each other.
Gee, I tell you what, how quickly can a bout change? A big slapping low kick from Baris Kilic, another 8 count. First it was a body rip, now it was a low kick, but James Burns, he's got some power in those hands.
Absolutely, this fight could still go either way.
I tell you what.
It's still, you have to still say it's a 10-8 round, obviously, because of the, the 8 counts, but you have to ask the questions about, you don't know what damage these boys have taken in previous fights, and that all adds up into what we're seeing in front of us, Johnny.
Well, absolutely. 4 fights for James Burns. We don't know when they were, but 2 big shots there.
It's all over.
It was the right hand that put the lights out on James Burns.
2 big left and a big right, and that was all she wrote, fellas.
Tell you what, if you blink, you miss it, and that is the way.
All right, we've got long-time sponsor Sam from Slices Family Restaurant, 2 great locations, Taylor's Lakes and Caroline Springs. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Cook puts a stop to this contest, 13 seconds into the 2nd round. Your winner by TKO, Baris Kilic. Big round of applause into James Burns. He'll be back to fight another day. Bout number 8 of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, Ultimate Legends number 9, live streaming around the world from the Westend Market Hotel on Fight TV. Download the app. Our next contest under K1 rules, introducing first from the blue corner, also fighting out of Cairns in Queensland. Please welcome Mark All-Spark Solomon.
I'll beat you when you're headed to you talking up a motherfucking
And his opponent, representing Fighting Fit in Collingwood, please welcome Nassar Kassab.
And it's a bitch that the judge gave you 8 years. You doing 6, so we know that you play hang. You a trick roll over turn 6 like a bitch. Right, left, then left, right. I see him step up. He didn't look, he got stuck with your uppercut. I put my hand up to God, right, it's all beautiful. Throw it close in his face like a right, left, then left, right. I see him step up. He didn't look, he got stuck.
Fighter with the Kyokushin background.
Seconds out, round 1.
Experience definitely going the way of Mark Solomon. He's got 18 fights, you know.
With 12 wins, Johnny. You certainly won't ride him off with a record like that, that's for sure.
Yep. Now,
Let's
both.
not forget Kassab's Kyokushin background, 13 years worth of it.
So they are fairly evenly matched physically. Two very tall boys in centre ring.
Certainly would have to say that Mark Solomon seems to be the bigger boy, or heavier set boy, maybe a bit of a weight cut there.
He did weigh in about 2 kilos heavier than Nassar.
Did he? There you go.
High round kick from Kassab. A lot of local support for Nassar, as usual. Got a big following.
You see that Kyokushin karate background coming through with those repeated left kicks.
Yeah, I think it would be crazy for Mark to be fighting Nassar at long range. That's suicide.
So this bout brought to you by Samira Meats. We've had a great night of fights so far. Everybody getting in for their chop here at the Westend Hotel. Now,
Very evenly matched fight at this stage. What do you have to say, Darren?
Absolutely. I think Mark's got the right idea. When he pulls on the pressure with the hands, he's having some good success.
trying to pepper away at the inside of that lead leg of Nassar Kassab.
You know, Johnny, that was a very spectacular jumping right roundhouse. Johnny, that inside leg kick wasn't something that you saw 10 years ago in the martial art of kickboxing, K1, Muay Thai. And it's sort of, MMA has sort of brought that technique to the forefront.
I'm thinking back in my times, that was an illegal technique.
Yeah, well, that would explain why we didn't see much of it.
Yeah. Now, there's a bit of blood on the shorts there of Nassar Kassab. From what I can see, guys, can you spot that on the left part of the shorts? Just see where that comes from.
On the shin, I think. The left shin.
Oh, big strong round kick from Kassab. The power in those legs.
I tell you, it's not often you see someone get dropped with a right rib kick. Strong legs.
He's looking fresh, though. He doesn't seem to be showing any signs.
Bit of karate of his own.
Yeah, jumping front kick from Mark Solomon. You saw legs flying in centre ring at the moment. I'll tell you what.
Nassar Kassab smells blood and he is going for it. He wants to be careful, though. You have to say Mark would have the power in one shot.
Yeah, the blue corner not even icing or wiping that left shin of Mark Solomon. So here we go. Oh, look at big hands.
That
from
right hand
Solomon
that I mentioned.
Yep.
I hope Mark's corner has advised him to close the distance quicker.
We're hearing the Kassab corner saying back to basics.
It's just getting a little bit scrappy over there in the red corner. Big thanks once again to Samira Meats. Nice spinning back kick. Not a lot of power in it though from Kassab.
Mark's very comfortable at this range.
Yeah, big left and rights from Kassab.
Exciting fight so far, Johnny and Dion.
I'll tell you what, absolutely, you just do not want to turn away.
No one's come to win a decision tonight.
Good use of the ring by Solomon. Where's another strong round kick?
Solomon's corner's yelling from the corner saying high guard. I couldn't agree more, Johnny. Get those hands up.
And that's why.
Nassar certainly has the ability to throw quite the amount of power at a head height.
Yeah, very flexible. Nassar Kassab, there's spinning back fist. He's really trying everything in his arsenal at the moment. And there's the mouth guard.
Johnny, something I love to see is fighters doing exactly what their coaches say. I was looking over to the corner, into the red corner, and the Kassab team is saying, okay, I want to start seeing body kicks, that sort of thing. Straight away, you see Nassar come out and throw that body kick. Such a rare thing to be able to keep your head in such a heated fight that we're watching right now.
I was trying to decipher the hand signals from Nick Kara. It looked like a couple of judo chops in succession.
Amidst a whole lot of shouting.
Yeah, exactly. Once again,
Solomon's got to keep the pressure on.
Yeah,
Maybe not do that.
Yeah, well, he's trying to put on a bit of a show as well. We've got Kassab at least making some connection with his jumping round kick. Crowd loving it.
Solomon's really leaking some fluids out of that left shin.
We must be fighting on ice tonight, boys. We've had a number of slipovers.
Well, I tell you what, gentlemen.
End of round two down, one to go. Bradley, what do you lay? Simmer mates.
For me, this is
Seconds out, third and final round.
All right, so we've got 1 10-8 round to Kassab, and a second round that could have gone either way, I think.
So really, Mark Solomon with his work cut out for him, but I'll tell you what.
Both boys have come to win though, Johnny, so you can't write either of them off or a right hand.
I'll tell you what, I've never seen anyone...
5, 6, 7.
How quick did Mark
8.
Solomon get back onto his feet? It was almost like a springboard.
Yeah, he's got to give it to him. He as hard as an anvil.
Yeah, well, now he's really got his work cut out for him.
He does, but what a chin. He goes down, he looked like he was out and hurt, springs back up, ready to fight.
Oh, there's Kassab with that spinning back kick, I tell you what.
Solomon's looking a little more hesitant and weary now.
I'd love to see Kassab sit back on his hands. That's where he's finding a lot of his success. These spinning kicks aren't really hitting the mark. They look spectacular though, don't they, Johnny?
Yeah, I'm not going to complain.
I wish I could do the same.
Yeah, got to be honest, once upon a time my flexibility let me do that, but I'm just waiting for the helicopter kick to come out.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, kickboxer.
There you go, good strong hands from Kassab.
And just as I mentioned, those hands are where he's finding his most success.
I
Sit
think
on
he
those
forgets
hands.
they exist sometimes.
Really, Solomon needs to be on the front foot and take this fight to Nassar Kassab.
He really does have to leave it all in the ring, doesn't he?
Yep. So can only be 30 seconds left, so go for broke.
They really want that body kick. Red corner.
And I wouldn't mind betting it will be not far behind.
Final 30 seconds.
Gee, I reckon first knee of the bout thrown by Nassar Kassab. And not much behind it, not much mustard in it. Low kick from Solomon. Tries to unload on Kassab in the red corner.
That's the end of the fight. Big round of applause to both fighters.
Tell you what,
Can I
guys.
have Stephen Lilly up there from Simmer Meats?
Yeah, go.
Tell you what, Johnny, they breed them nice and tough up north, don't they?
Yeah, I'll tell you
Markets
what.
up.
Yeah, Dave, we've had a great representation from Cairns
All right,
this
ladies and
evening.
gentlemen, we've got the guys here from Semira Meats. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. It is a unanimous decision. Charlie Camilleri had a 30-27. Vadim Tashamaz had a 30-25, and Jack Behic had a 30-26. For your winner by unanimous decision, Nassar Kassab!
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, your winner, as predicted by us, Nassar Kassab, unanimous.
All right, bout number 9 of 11 of the evening, Ultimate Legends number 9, live from the Westend Market Hotel, and proudly brought to you by Plaster Wholesalers. Introducing first from the blue corner, fighting out of Altona. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mohamed Kiki El-Haouli. His opponent, fighting out of Taylor's Lakes, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kid Bollywood, Armand Guraya.
Fights I love to see, Johnny, when you've got 2 undefeated boys.
Seconds out, round 1.
Yeah, Mohamed with 2 fights and Armand with 4. So experience going the way of the red corner. 2 very tall fighters. Mohamed at 6 foot. Armand 6 foot 1 3/4, I think Perry said. So,
And he's very good at using every millimetre of his reach.
He loves to step in, southpaw, orthodox southpaw, Armand. Very tricky to spar. I can say that I've sparred him a number of times.
You can see the influences from his favourite fighters, TJ Dillashaw and Dominic Cruz, constantly switching stances, being awkward.
And cutting those angles, you don't see that very often in a kickboxing discipline.
I see Mohamed's already frustrated with the distance between them. He cannot close the gap.
yeah, a bit of a wave there from Mohamed. Is he urging Armand to come forward?
Yes, I think he probably should concentrate on his own fighting. Zamar's not going to have any of it with his experience, that's for sure.
Tell you what, though, Armand, have a look at him. He's got the look of death in those eyes. He just absolutely...
I'm too busy looking at his feet. He's gliding along the ground.
Yeah. Oh, big hands there from Mohamed over in the blue corner. This bout proudly brought to you by Plaster Wholesalers. Big shout out and thank you to Richo, Steve Richardson.
Man, just staying at that distance. And Mohamed really struggling to get in on that distance.
And I tell you, even if he does, he still has to deal with Aman's knees.
He's still smiling though, Mohamed. Takes a special kind of human to climb through those ropes.
End of round one, proudly brought to you by Plaster Wholesalers. Don't forget, folks, Prince Promotion, Saturday the 4th of May. Round two.
So Guraya states that his strongest attributes as a fighter are his angles, fight IQ, range and distance. I think we've seen a bit of all of that so far.
Yeah, well, that's probably a fair summary of Kid Bollywood. I would say Dion pretty much all of the above.
Yeah.
And he's put it to good effect so far in that first round, but take nothing away from Kiki, Mohamed El-Haouli.
Now his main sparring partners are Jake Spinner, Chris Sade and Brayden Buttergieg, who I think all won by knockout tonight. So fair to say he's had some good rounds of sparring in preparation for this fight.
Yeah, well, I think the boys from Ultimate HQ have come in very well prepared this evening.
All the boys are in tip-top shape. They all look like they're out of that movie 300.
Yeah, they've been doing their crunches.
Yeah, full credit to...
I've done one of their sessions. Dion, I'm still feeling the crunches from a year ago.
Yeah, I used to do that at the end of the sparring session. I just used to count them out, you know, at my age. But full credit to Joey DeMacaulay and Johnny Sheeter.
They've done a great job.
Once again, big left and right from...
Big heavy hands there from Mohamed.
Just a bit of holding there from Armand.
You must imagine that frustration setting in for Mohamed. He's really struggling to find the mark. No matter how hard he tries.
So, second round of 3.
Nice up kick.
Yeah, third and final round. Tell you what though, Mohamed just lands a couple of good solid blows and then Armand hangs on, so...
That's that composure that we were talking about, Johnny. But listening to the corner in between that break, Johnny, Mohamed was told, don't leave anything for chance. Let it all go.
I tell you, John, he reminds me of one of my fighters from yesteryear. You might remember Ben McNeil.
Yes, I do.
It's a lot like Ben McNeil.
Yes. So once again, big thanks to Plaster Wholesalers for getting behind this bout number 9. We hope you're enjoying it on Fight TV, wherever you're watching. I'm John Cavassini, and with me, Dion Douglas and the Cannon, David Bannon. And I must say, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure so far. But when you've got quality fights like this, it makes it so much easier to commentate.
It certainly does.
Not an empty seat here at the Westend Hotel, and nobody has moved.
Yeah, I'm not sure the bar will be doing too well tonight, Johnny. Everyone's too fixated on these excellent
Final 30 seconds.
Well, you know, it's just quality matchups, and you know, you're scared to look away because we've seen it this evening. Fights can just turn in a split second, and we've had some great knockouts. A little bit of blood now coming from the nose of Kiki Mohamed El-Haouli.
Yeah, I think that was that up kick that we saw earlier in the round.
So a lot of support, vocal support, especially for the blue corner.
That's the end of a fight. Big round of applause to both fighters. And thank you there to Plaster.
So we anxiously await.
Thank Thank you to our representative there from
MC
Plaza
Perry
Wholesalers.
Cale for
Ladies and gentlemen,
official
after 3 rounds
decision.
of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. It is a unanimous decision. Charlie Camilleri had a 30-27, as Vadim Tamaj also had a 30-27, and Cenk Behic had a 29-28 for your winner, Kid Bollywood, Armand Guraya.
Oh, there you go. Well called, gentlemen. Well scored. All three judges seeing it exactly the same way.
All right, folks, time for our semi-main event.
Was a member of Roger's gym and tragically passed away.
Cruiserweight kickboxing title. Introducing first, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the blue corner, making his way out of Deer Park. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Crazy Nut, Jono Almond. Opponent, fighting out of Craigieburn, a state champion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Roger's Shadow, Mini Nassar.
Crazy Nut, Jono Almond. In the red corner, Roger's Shadow, Mini Nassar.
He'd have to be 6'4", 6'5", this tall bloke.
I think there's about 30 centimetres between these two.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the David versus Goliath physical battle. Take nothing away from these two. Anything can happen, and it probably will.
Now, on paper, Jono should be the favourite. He has a lot more fights and is a lot bigger. However, I think anyone that's seen Mini fight knows that you can never count him out.
Yeah,
That overhand is very dangerous.
Yeah, that overhand right of Mini's, we know the knockout power that he possesses in that punch. But, you know, look at the dexterity shown by Mini. Spinning back kick, yeah.
What a gentleman, too.
Everybody's expecting Mini to go with the overhand bombs. I've been told that is not his game plan, so let's just wait and see. Ideally, Mini should be trying to take out the legs of the much taller Jono.
I think Jono's going to do the same thing in return.
I would be gluing that left hand to my left ear.
Yeah.
If I was Jono, but Mini Nassar will find a home for that right hand if he does.
And don't forget about the body shots.
Yes.
Let's not forget, guys, Mini wearing a black armband on his left arm in the memory of Khalid Rafi. I know that Khalid's family are here tonight, passed away from a very tragic accident, and our condolences to his family, and I'm sure that Mini will do them proud. Win or lose, that's the sort of guy that Mini is.
Proudly brought to you by Premier Partners and Achievement Cleaning Services. Round 2.
So Premier Partners proudly bringing you semi-main event. This is for the IKBF Cruiserweight Australian title.
It's not often you see someone who's only 166 centimetres tall in the cruiserweight division.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, Mini's trimmed down a lot. He would have been a heavyweight a couple of years ago.
That big right.
Oh!
He's
And there
out.
it is! And out for the count.
It's all over.
Well, Mini Nachar, he does it again. The power that this young man possesses is just beyond comprehension.
And don't forget, if you want to see a replay of that devastating knockout, jump onto your smartphone, Fight TV. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the guys here from Professional Premier Partners and Achievement Cleaning Services. Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Cook puts a stop to this contest. 29 seconds into the second round. Your winner by TKO and new IKBF Australian Cruiserweight Champion, Rocky Shadow Mini Nachar.
Oh, well, there you have it. Our new IKBF champion, Mini Nachar. Once again, a big thank you to...
Live streaming around the world on Fight TV. Download the app and watch the replay. Watch whatever you want. Our main event proudly brought to you by DeMarco Lawyers. Ladies and gentlemen, it is for the IKBF Commonwealth welterweight title. Introducing first from the blue corner, fighting out of the 3174, the main suburbs of Noble Park. They call him the Tiamarese Assassin. Please welcome Almond. His opponent. Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Caroline Springs, away of Adak in Iran, Persia. Please welcome the golden boy, Abbas Ahmadi.
Tiamarese flag.
Ladies and gentlemen, time to make some noise. Round one.
So here we go, round 1 of 5.
Now, for those guys at home that are wondering a little bit about Muay Thai, they may be K1 fans or boxing fans, but they might not know a lot about Muay Thai. Traditionally, these guys will feel each other out in the first round. They'll really sort of find each other's distance.
Yeah, exactly what you would expect. This is a 5-rounder, under 3 rounds. Usually they come out a little bit quicker. Let's not forget, if we were in Thailand, I think it's at least the first 2 rounds, perhaps the first 3 are always scored a draw, regardless. And it's really only the later rounds that decide who the winner is. Here in Australia, we score a little bit differently, and each round on its merits to the dominant fighter. But
well, in Thailand, Johnny, you could pretty much light them up with your hands and not a single punch would be scored.
Also, let's not forget 2-minute rest between rounds.
That is a big game changer. When you've got 2 minutes, when a lot of these boys, when they're training, they'd be having 30-second rest.
Yeah.
So to be given a 2-minute rest is like a nice Hawaiian holiday.
so Abbas trying to go upstairs, just loses his footing in the process. I'll tell you what though, I've never seen Abbas Ahmadi walk into a ring unprepared. Have a look He would not have 1 ounce of fat on him.
No, he's a legitimate veteran. He's been doing this since the year 2000, so nearly 20 years of training.
Straight right hand by Xavier.
Absolutely massive fight to be stepping up to.
Quite a bit of silence in the crowd as compared to our previous bout.
As expected, yeah.
Yeah. So a good use of the front kick teep from both fighters in this bout so far.
Albert seems to be the first to up the intensity and switch gears.
And round one, proudly brought to you by DeMarco Lawyers.
Based on that, you know, everything else fairly even. I'll be giving a round to the blue corner. So here we go, round two of 5. This for the IKBF Commonwealth title. Proudly brought to you by DeMarco Lawyers. We hope you're enjoying Ultimate Legends number 9. I'm John Cavassini, and with me, Dion Douglas and David the Cannon Bannon. Expect the pace to pick up a little now in the second round.
Well, I can definitely see it on Albert's end. He switched gears again.
So attempts a spinning back fist. Nice slapping low kick from Abbas. Who's going to be first to initiate the clinch, guys?
I think it'll be Abbas. He's got the height advantage. I think he'll be more inclined to utilize his clinch.
Well, Albert has definitely stepped up a gear in this round.
Good couple of straight right hands from Albert. Backs Abbas into his own blue corner.
I think there's definitely a bit of a speed and power advantage in Albert's favour, perhaps due to his youth. But you can never count someone out who has superior experience.
No, you can't. You got to say age will play a factor in this fight, though.
Abbas pretty much just relying on his low kicks and that jab. I'm always in anticipation for Abbas to unload a big right hand, but I can honestly say I can't remember last time I saw it.
No, but I think we're going to see plenty from Albert.
Albert trying to pepper away at the jab.
Beautiful step up left knee to the mid drift of Abbas.
Nice low kick, right hand combination. So Albert Xavier definitely the busier of the two now, starting to
big time
pick up the work rate. So, you know, probability of him scoring and racking up the points, it's just stepped up.
And he is landing that right hand on repeat.
Tables have turned very significantly in this round.
Now, who was it earlier on this evening, gents? I can't remember, but one of you did mention, you know, you have to appreciate a fighter that recognises and understands his position in the bout so far.
Absolutely.
Where he is and where he's at. Now, Abbas, if you see that Albert's on the front foot, you know, you've got to counter, you've got to pick it up. Yeah, you can't afford to sit back. There he goes. There's a guy that knows he just won the round.
Oh, yes, he was in the opposite corner last Friday night, actually. Johnny, I was staring at him from the other side of the ring.
So here we go, third round of 5. Albert Xavier in the blue, Abbas Ahmadi in the red. Brought to you by DeMarco Lawyers. This is your main event, Ultimate Legends 9.
And you called it, Dion. Who's going to initiate that clinch?
It's good to see him change the tactics a little bit. But it does look like Albert has a strength advantage as well. Now, if you were to ask Albert, he'd tell you that his best weapons are his elbows. So let's see if these come out in round 3.
Well, that looked like an attempted upward elbow from Abbas. So he's looked like the first one to initiate an elbow strike. Missed the mark, but we know what damage the elbows can do. Well, how's that?
Beautiful catch and takedown.
Yeah, what a show of strength from Xavier.
Yeah, look, he's every bit as strong as he looks. Very well-built boy.
Yeah, he just looks to have beefed up so much in his upper body as well.
Well, he told me his occupation is a stripper, so maybe that's why.
With a moustache like that, who could be...
Nice leading uppercut from Albert.
It seemed like that left hook might have hurt Abbas there.
Absolutely, for a split second there, Abbas, it just looked like he stopped in his tracks.
And he raised that guard that little bit higher.
Albert, the busy of the two in the clinch. Not really sure why Mark Cook was separating them.
Well, from what I could see, Abbas was grabbing the rope behind Abbas. So...
Good work by Xavier to the body of Abbas, looking to soften him up. He's got that right elbow cocked.
Striking at will now, Xavier, isn't he?
I think they're quite evenly matched in skill, but Albert's physicality is just far superior.
Yeah, absolutely, and we just saw it again. Dion, well spotted. He just almost bullied Abbas into the neutral corner here above us, you know. It was nothing technical, it was just pretty much a shove, but, you know, stamping his authority that, you know, mate, I'm stronger than you.
Yeah.
So 10 seconds left in this third round.
You just get the feeling that Albert can hurt him, but Abbas cannot hurt Albert.
Once again, a strong finish by Albert Xavier. So I've got him now. So
Round 4.
famous words from our MC Perry Cale. The penultimate round, round number 4. Albert Xavier, the Timorese assassin, and the golden boy, Abbas Ahmadi.
Looks like Albert has switched gears again.
So
Time.
it's only the second low blow for the evening, so
I think we're doing all right.
yeah, that's
some of the nights we've been here, Johnny.
I'll tell you what, for 11 bouts and only the second low blow, that's it's a testament to all the fighters this evening. But Abbas Ahmadi with a quick recovery. Albert really putting his punch combinations together now, using that jab, then going to the midsection, trying to latch on for the clinch.
Now, Abbas also claims that his main weapons are his elbows, but we haven't seen them on display just yet.
Like 3 straight rights.
I was going to say, he's finding a home for that right hand.
And he's really blocking those punches with his chin, which is not a good idea.
He's taken it very well considering the size of these little gloves.
Attempted overhand right from Ahmadi, just misses the mark. Well, I think if Abbas has got any chance of winning this fight, he really needs to try and land some elbows on Albert Xavier. And he's just not closing the gap enough.
Yeah, he really needs to put the foot down, doesn't he?
He's got to get through Albert's hands to get closer, but it's no easy task. I think there's a big difference in that boxing ability.
Nonetheless, those leg kicks, he's going to certainly feel them tomorrow.
Yeah, and probably that's been Abbas's best scoring technique. Although I did enjoy that left body rip. But you know, he just hasn't landed enough, or there's not enough power in those leg kicks to hurt Albert.
And if there is, Albert's done a good job of hiding it.
Yeah, he's just walked forward, hasn't he?
10 seconds left in this 4th round. Albert Xavier, he just looks confident.
End of round 4, 4 down, 1 to go. IKBF Commonwealth welterweight to 9. This is the 5th and final round.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Last round of the night. Ultimate Legends 9. Albert Xavier, Abbas Ahmadi. This is for the IKBF Commonwealth title.
Well, I think we got our answer.
Yes, I don't think we're coasting anywhere, fellas. There's that overhand. Maybe he should have been throwing a few of them earlier in the night.
Well, it's better late than never. I'd like to see a few more of them.
Yeah, he needs to really put this foot down even more than he's doing right now.
Well, he's backing Albert up for the first time.
Lovely, straight to the body from Abbas.
That jab from Abbas is almost like a token jab. He's just
like a rangefinder, yeah.
Exactly. He just puts it out there without really trying to connect.
Xavier hasn't done a lot this round at this stage. He's sort of sitting there with a nice high guard.
This is nice work from Abbas. Come alive now.
That's better work from Abbas.
He's really switched on this round, but it might be too little too late.
Yeah, at least Abbas is being the initiator and trying to be first.
Beautiful. Use that body rips. Just gorgeous, isn't it?
Where have they been for the last 4 rounds?
Yeah.
Now really, this is how Abbas should have been fighting from round 2 onwards.
Yeah, and you know what? I would say he's almost winning this round.
Yeah,
I would agree.
You know, he's pulled out the overhand right. He's used the body rip.
Just the general pace that his feet are moving to.
And he's pressuring Albert backwards.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, final round.
Nice teep to the chin from Abbas.
Final 30 seconds.
Big overhand rights from Xavier. Tries to sneak the elbow in through the guard of Abbas. Only seconds left in this main event.
That's the end of the fight. Give a round of applause to both fighters. Can I have Joe from DeMarco Lawyers? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got our main event sponsor here from DeMarco Lawyers. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the judges' scorecard, a big round of applause to both fighters for a fantastic main event. Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. It is a split decision.
Wow.
Okay.
Charlie Camilleri had it 48-47, red corner. Vadim Tashimaj had it 48-47, blue corner. And Jen Behic had it 48-47 for your winner by split decision and new Commonwealth champion, blue corner, Albert Xavier.
well, there you go. The new IKBF champion by a split points decision. It was unanimous on our scorecards, but what can I say? We hope you've enjoyed Ultimate Legends number 9. A big thanks to my co-commentators, Leon Douglas, Dave the Cannon Bannon. I'm John Cavassini. We hope to see you back here at Ultimate Legends number 10. A big thanks to Johnny Cheetah and Joe DeMcCauley.
Boy, Abbas Ahmadi, he'll be back to fight another day. Congratulations there to our new IKBF Commonwealth welterweight champion, the Timorese assassin, Xavier.
So wherever you're watching on Fight TV, we hope you've enjoyed tonight's show. Thank you and good night.